What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Tripp to the Movie podcast. I am your co-host, Nathan Spencer, and this is our host, Tripp. I did the intro because you flubbed it up a couple times. So.
I flubbed it up a lot. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about our top 10 most anticipated movies of 2020.
2020, you got to write this tape.
Yes!
You got to write
So, a lot of movies we're looking forward to this year. Hopefully they're going to float our goat. Our
yeah,
goat.
sure.
Whatever.
Let's
floats
just
our
call
goat.
it our goat. Let's call
Yes.
it that. It rhymes with the actual word.
All right. So what we're going to do here.
My notes here.
Yeah. All right.
Tripp,
Yes, sir.
are you ready for this?
I am
You
100%
ready for
ready.
this, y'all? All right.
I'm super enthusiastic.
Your number 10.
My number 10 movie that I'm most anticipated for is a movie called The Lovebirds. So
I have not heard of this one.
When I watched-
I'm intrigued now.
I wanted to avoid the trailer because I loved Kumail Nanjiani. I hope I said his name right.
Kumail Nanjiani.
Kumail Nanjiani.
You were close.
Yes, I was very close.
You get a pass, slight pass.
And it has co-star Issa Rae. And it looks like a fun comedy, but from what the trailer provided us, it looks like that it's going to be very, very interesting. Kind of like Game Night that came out in 2018.
That was good.
It was really good, and it seems like it's going to be directed, somewhat in the same murder mystery.
Is it the same director?
It's not the same director.
Okay.
It looks.
I'll have to look this
It
one
looks
up. I don't
like the comedy version of Queen and Slim that came out in 2019. So this is the comedy version of it, which I'm intrigued. Queen and Slim was amazing.
Okay, cool. Well, I need to look at that trailer clearly because I don't know what it is. My number 10 is On the Rocks by Sofia Coppola.
Ooh, I've never heard of it.
Lost in Translation is a Sofia Coppola film. It's one of the best films I've ever seen in my life. It's one of my favorite movies ever, and I love her as a director. There really isn't a whole lot about this film yet. It sees her reunite with Bill Murray, who was also in Lost in Translation.
Oh, okay.
And so that's really the only reason I'm excited for it. Sofia Coppola and Bill Murray reuniting. That's all I need to know.
Isn't Lost in Translation like in your top 10 of all time?
Yes.
That's what
Yes, it is. I love that movie. So, I mean, Sofia Coppola and Bill Murray, like they found something with that movie, and if they can even get half of the magic that they had in Lost in Translation, then this On the Rocks film is going to be awesome.
Oh.
So,
Well,
I don't know when it's coming out. A lot of these films on my list don't have release dates. So, for all we know, this list could be crap, and a bunch of these movies are 2021. But as of right now, these were 2020 movies. So,
I got you.
your number 9, dude.
My number 9 is a movie that I know is coming out fairly soon. I didn't include any movies that were coming out in January since at the time we're recording in January.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put the Gentleman on the list because I am looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So my 9th favorite movie or most anticipated movie of 2020 is a movie that I thought I never ever would have put on my list. It is Birds of Prey. It's the new R-rated Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah, well, you didn't say the full title, Tripp.
I forgot the full title's name.
Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of... The Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. I think that's it.
Exactly. Whatever he said.
Yeah.
So I had no idea what this movie was going into until, but apparently Joker and Harley Quinn broke up after he busted her out of
she
prison.
like straight up kills Jared Leto in the trailer.
Oh really? I've only seen the first trailer. I tend not to watch trailers.
It was in the first 5 seconds. So let's just say that's probably not a big reveal in the movie.
Excellent.
Obviously, it's not Jared Leto. They just say the Joker's in the car and then she blows it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But basically, I'm excited to see an R-rated DC movie. And I love Margot Robbie and Ewan McGregor. Yeah. I can't wait to see their on-screen chemistry. And I know some of the other cast.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yes, they're going to deliver. Mm-hmm. And I'm just looking. Fun. I'm looking for just a fun DC movie.
Yeah, it's February, and unless there's a Black Panther or a Get Out releasing in February, like you typically don't have real prestige films. I'm just looking for a fun movie to see in the shortest month.
Exactly. So. You have. Usually February movies, they're all the love romance movies.
Yeah, or horror films, just like January.
Oh, gosh. All right, so Nathan, you're number 9.
All right. My phone keeps locking.
Good job.
My number 9 is another film from another modern master, Mank.
Mank.
Probably the worst title of the year. However, this is directed by David Fincher. It's coming to Netflix. Stars Gary Oldman.
Oh.
Yeah, so here's the plot.
Oh, okay.
Mank is an upcoming American biographical film about screenwriter Herman J. Mankiewicz and his battles with director Orson Welles over the screenplay credit for Citizen Kane. So,
wow.
It's just something I didn't even realize was a thing. Apparently, it's a hotly debated topic in the film community is who actually came up with the story for Citizen Kane. Because apparently in the film, I need to rewatch it. In the film, it just says story Orson Welles, directed by Orson Welles, whereas apparently Herman J. Mankiewicz actually wrote the screenplay. So this film is about that. So it's a modern master filmmaker making a film with some of the best actors working about what is argued by many to be the greatest and most important film of all time.
Well, obviously, if people were arguing that is the most important movie of all time, I've clearly never seen The Room, directed by Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
So
he's watching over this podcast.
He is watching over the podcast.
But yeah, so that's coming to Netflix. Not sure when. Okay. I think November.
So, I mean, after Gary Oldman won his Oscar, he's like, hey, I'm going to do a Netflix film.
Well, first he did Hunter Killer with...
He did do Hunter Killer.
The masterpiece with Gerard Butler.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, let's pretend that.
I was the only one in that theater.
When you saw it?
I saw it, yep. I was the only one.
Yeah, because I wasn't there. I doesn't believe I wasn't there.
So, my number 8 is a movie that I'm just... I love horror, as you guys know, and this movie, I'm just hoping, I'm praying that it'll be good like the first two. It's The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It.
That title.
Well, it's not called The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. I just call it The Conjuring 3.
No, I mean just that subtitle.
Yes, it's not a good title.
Yeah. Neither was Mank, but...
Neither was Mank. Basically, they're going to bring back Ed and Lorraine Warren, and hopefully it'll be as intense and scary like the first two Conjurings.
They're well-made films. They're not for me at all, but they're very, very well-made.
My only note that I made for this movie is hopefully it doesn't suck, because this is from the director of The Nun.
Yeah.
That came out in 2018, so I have very... very low hopes for it, but I'm still anticipating it because...
It's one of your favorite franchises. So.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite... I love the first two, and Annabelle Creation. But other than that, all of the other movies have been not good at all. And I just hope that it's not going to be a stupid jump scare movie fest.
Considering The Nun made like $400 million. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see about that. All right, number 8 is a film called The French Dispatch by Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson's doing another movie this year?
He's returning to live action.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So this film is an American-German comedy drama written and directed by Wes Anderson. Not really much known about the plot, but let me tell you the cast. Let me tell you the cast real quick.
I'm intrigued.
Wes Anderson's a great filmmaker. We all know this. But let me just read this cast. Frances McDormand.
Okay, good.
Bill Murray.
Good.
Timothy Chalamet.
Wow.
Jeffrey Wright. Benicio del Toro.
Wow.
Lea Seydoux. Tilda Swinton. Saoirse Ronan. Kate Winslet. Elizabeth Moss. Willem Dafoe. Christoph Waltz. Owen Wilson. Adrian Brody. Jason Schwartzman. And Bob Balaban and Henry Winkler.
Those are 17 giant A-list names.
I mean, Henry Winkler is clearly the star here, but
he's definitely this. Oh my gosh!
But yeah, just listen to that cast.
I'm already in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy my ticket right now.
If it was out. Again, no release date yet, but extremely excited for that movie. I really thought Isle of Dogs was underrated, even by myself, because I rewatched that and that's way better than I thought it was. But
Definitely.
Yeah, just seeing him return to live action after Grand Budapest Hotel, which most kind of agree on as being his best film, that was 2014. So this will be 6 years removed from that.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's another, best director, best picture, Oscar type thing. I'm excited for it. Yeah.
I haven't seen that many Wes Anderson movies. I would say
we can remedy that, brother.
I would say my favorite Wes Anderson movie probably would be Isle of Dogs.
Your favorite?
My favorite, yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I've only seen like 2 of his movies. So it made my top 20 movies of 2018.
Okay. Well, we need to, before that comes out, Tripp is going to watch some Wes Anderson movies.
I'm going to watch some Wes Anderson, definitely.
Anyways, your number 7.
My number 7 is a movie that I am very intrigued by. It's another horror, probably thriller movie. We don't know that much about from what the trailer produced. It's called Antebellum, and it's produced. It's produced by Jordan Peele. By all of we know he directed Get Out and Us,
and he's brought back Twilight Zone.
Yes. Yeah. It looks really well shot, and the use of the lighting in the trailer.
It's a good trailer because it doesn't tell us really anything about the movie.
No,
we can tell that there's like time travel, maybe.
Maybe it's a ghost story.
Yeah,
that's all that I know about it, and that's just It's number 7. I'm very looking forward to it.
Janelle Monáe was really good in Hidden Figures, so hopefully she's good in this as well.
Definitely, I hope so.
That one looks good. I'm intrigued about that one as well.
All right,
number 7.
Number 7.
The Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright.
Wow, we're talking about movies that I don't even know his list. He doesn't even know my list.
Yeah, so The Last Night in Soho is Edgar Wright's follow-up to Baby Driver.
He's making another movie?
Yeah, so this is an interesting swing for him. Baby Driver was a huge hit. He bet on himself because he pulled out of Ant-Man and was semi-forced out also.
Yeah.
And so he bet on himself with Baby Driver, won big, and instead of following it up with a sequel, there is a script that he wrote for Baby Driver 2, but he chose to do this next.
Good.
This is a throwback horror film set in the 1960s, so like Rosemary Baby type era. And it stars Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh, I'm in.
So, there's no trailer. I don't think there's a release date yet, but Edgar Wright tackling a new genre, he's done just about every one. So it'd be interesting to see if this is a... sorry, I probably need to get closer to the mic.
No, you're fine.
It'll be interesting to see if this is a comedy-style drama film, or like horror film, or if this is like straight-up stylized horror film. I'm just excited for it. He's one of the best filmmakers working right now.
He definitely is. And what we can know about it, we know 2 things. Mm-hmm. That this editing is going to be amazing.
It's going to be great.
And that the editing is going to get snubbed from the Oscars. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, probably.
We're going to have a movie like Birds of Prey win Best Editing.
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not.
Even though it's on your most anticipated.
Definitely.
Anyways, your number 6.
So my number 6 most anticipated movie is a movie. It's another horror movie, and when I first watched the trailer, it was extremely graphic. I wasn't expecting this graphic of a trailer. It's called Antlers, and
I have avoided this trailer. I'm not a horror guy,
it's
really.
Very, very
Even though I just
creepy.
said a horror film, I'm not a horror guy.
It is very creepy looking. It looks like that it's going back to the old Evil Dead era, where they're probably going to be there's going to be a combination of practical effects and also CGI. And I mean, just the costumes on all the monsters or creatures look good. It's also directed by Sam Cooper. And Sam Cooper,
that's a familiar name.
He directed a movie back in 2018. It came out in film festivals in 2017, but I saw it in 2018. It's called Hostels. It starred Christian Bale. Like this Western movie.
The Western with Timothée Chalamet?
Yes, he was in it. He was as a supporting character, but
no,
honestly, it was a very underrated movie.
Okay.
And Christian Bale obviously directed. He very well acted. But anyway, Antlers. I'm a sucker for horror movies. This doesn't look like it's going to have any jump scares. Let's pray there's no jump scares. Yeah. Other than that, this looks absolutely phenomenal, and I cannot wait to see to actually see it.
Yeah. My number 5 doesn't even have a title.
Excellent.
So we don't know if this is coming out in 2020. Currently, this film has a July, I believe, 2020 release date. It is a untitled 70s high school film directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Paul Thomas Anderson is one of my favorite directors.
Wow.
Punch Drunk Love. There Will Be Blood. Golly, I'm blanking on his most famous film.
Made Phantom Thread.
Phantom Thread. He has not directed a bad movie, and I'm just extremely excited about it.
Wow.
There is no cast. There is no script. All we have is that is a 70s high school film directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, and that is already enough for it to be my number 5.
A 70s high school film directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Well,
so he's returning to like the era of Boogie Nights, which is where he made his name.
Yes. So do you want to maybe predict a cast? Predict a cast. I would say.
Let's think here. Well, not Daniel Day-Lewis.
Well, yeah, you can't do Daniel Day-Lewis
because it's a high school film. We don't know the style yet. We don't know if it's comedy. We don't know if it's drama. But we can assume that he'll be pulling from young actors, and I would like Timothée Chalamet. However, Timothée Chalamet is very busy right now.
Mm-hmm.
French Dispatch and another film that'll be on my list later. Where I'm not going to spoil it.
I got you.
But yeah, so honestly, he's such a good director. I'll watch anybody that he directs.
I would say probably my 2 most picked, or either Saoirse Ronan or Saoirse Ronan or Florence Pugh.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Because Florence Pugh is 23, I think. So, I mean, she could pull off high school. She just did in Little Women.
There's also Chloe Grace Moretz. Yeah. I would be down with that. And, as maybe a guy, like I said, Timothée Chalamet.
I don't think he could because of scheduling, but maybe a Lucas Hedges.
Definitely Lucas Hedges. I would say
every indie film, Timothée Chalamet and Lucas Hedges are like, I'm like total film bro, indie A24 film bro right now. Timothée Chalamet.
I would say
Lucas
probably,
Hedges.
And also a very underrated pick, Michael Cera.
He's like 35, Tripp.
He can still pull off a young boy look if he shaves his mustache.
If he shaves his really gross looking mustache. Yeah, anyways, that's enough about a movie that has 0 plot details and 0 title. So, enough about that. Let's move to your number 4.
Number 5.
Number 5. Oh.
Number 5 is a movie that we haven't even seen a trailer
I'm an
for.
Idiot.
Oh, you're fine.
I skipped my number 6.
Oh, good job.
I went to number 5, so.
You can get my number 6.
So, I'm going to...
Good job.
Do my number 6. I missed that. My number 6 is Beyond Yang by Kogonada. Wow. Kogonada directed Columbus, which is a 2017/2018 film, depending on when you saw it. Haley Lu Richardson and John Cho. It is just...
John Cho's going to be in it?
No. I'm saying Columbus.
Oh,
it has Haley Lu Richardson and John Cho, and it is just like devastatingly beautiful. Some of the best cinematography I've seen. I think it's one of the best films of the decade. It was in my top 10 list on my Instagram page.
Yep.
And this film also stars Haley Lu Richardson, which she's just awesome at everything she's in. She's going to be a huge star, and I'm excited to see her reuniting with Kogonada. Colin Farrell is also in it.
Colin Farrell,
yes. And the plot of the film is the film follows a father and daughter as they try to save the life of the robotic family member. So it's going to be set in the future. It's going to be sci-fi. So he's tackling genre now. And I'm really excited to see a guy as talented as Kogonada tackle a genre film.
Okay.
And so that's why it's my number 6. And then we already talked about my number 5 because I'm dumb. So
we're going to talk about my number 5. So as I can tell, Nathan's number 5s are more indie films, not big name films. I only look up big name films because I like the indie films to surprise me whenever I see them.
Yeah.
So my number 5 film is Halloween Kills. I'm kidding. It's not.
Okay.
Halloween Kills. But let's talk about
quick
Halloween.
Quick tangent. Okay.
Yes.
That film's in my honorable mentions.
It's in mine as well.
I love Halloween. I know how I constantly say I'm not a horror guy, but I'm like, I really like this horror film. But like Halloween, it's not scary anymore.
Nope.
But the first film is arguably one of the best films ever made.
Exactly.
I like the second one, the third one, the fourth one. Let's forget about 5 through the second Rob Zombie film. Those didn't happen.
Those did not happen.
And then the one that came out 2 years ago, or
2018.
2018, yeah. So I guess technically it was a year, but more like 2 years. But yeah, the reboot / sequel in 2018.
No sequel.
It's a remake, reboot, sequel.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Whatever.
But that one was excellent, and I really, really enjoyed it. Is it like a masterpiece? No. But you best believe I'm going to see the new one.
I need to see it again. I remember I didn't really enjoy how it focused only on the granddaughter. Mm-hmm. I wanted it to still focus on Lori.
Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be in these next 2.
Yes, well, of course, because
I'm
didn't
excited
die.
about that. That's really why I'm so excited.
Exactly, and I felt like the cinematography was really well shot.
It's like John Carpenter shot it.
Yeah, I wanted to put that on my top 10, but so my number 5.
Yeah, let's get back to this.
My number 5 is Bill and Ted Face the Music. Now, I've only seen the first Bill and Ted. I haven't watched Bogus Journey, but I mean, they're bringing back Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter, and they're, old men now, but they're still super talented.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's not much to say about this film. I'm just excited to see how they implement Rufus. Yeah. And
who did they cast as some of the younger actors in it? Because I know they cast someone relatively well known. Do you want to look that up?
That is a good looking up.
Let's look it up because Bill and Ted are a couple films that I actually need to see. I have not seen either one, which I know is like a crime, but I'll see them before this new one drops.
All right, so they have Samara Weaving.
Oh, Samara Weaving.
Yes.
Okay.
They have Anthony Cardigan, who was
Barry.
in Barry.
Hello, Barry. The best guy in the show.
Exactly. If you guys haven't seen Barry, watch Barry. Okay. The best. Right. It was so good.
That's really all we need to know.
Yeah.
Samara Weaving. I'm
definitely
seeing it.
Sweet. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to see that.
All right.
So I'm just excited, and I love comedy movies. So they're my second.
So that was favorite. Number 5?
Number 5, yes.
All right, so my number 4 is the first real blockbuster on this list. It is No Time to Die, directed by Cary Fukunaga, who is, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure.
Good job.
This is the latest Bond film. Daniel Craig's last Bond outing. I think he's the best Bond. He's my favorite Bond. So far, he's 50% for his Bond
That's
films.
what I've heard.
Casino Royale, incredible, amazing film. Quantum of Solace exists. Skyfall is one of the best action films of the decade.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite films of all time. It is, I don't even think a competition really to be considered the best Bond film. I know that's like somewhat of a boring take in the Bond community, and they don't really like it a whole lot, but I just think Deacon's coming on, Sam Mendes, they stripped the Bond character down and really exposed a lot of like the gross sexism and debauchery of the character that was kind of celebrated, and tore that down and built up a new character that was both faithful to the Bond of old and also something really fresh and new.
Now, is this the new one or?
Well, that was Skyfall. So then Spectre was a film. I liked it a lot when I first saw it, and then I saw it every time I've seen it after that, it has been like
I remember I saw I've only seen 2 Bond films, which was Dr. No and Octopussy. I've never seen any other
2 pretty
Bond film.
random ones to be your only ones, but
Dr. No's the first one.
Dr. No's the first one at least, but we'll remedy this
definitely.
But No Time to Die, the trailer looks great. Just gonna say that. And then the cast is awesome. All the returning characters, and then you got Rami Malek, fresh off his Oscar, as the villain. His voice in the trailer, perfection. And then Ana de Armas as the lead Bond girl, who doesn't look just to be like eye candy in the film. She clearly has a big role based on the trailer. She's doing a lot in the trailer, so I'm pretty excited. And then it's Daniel Craig's finale. It's his last hurrah before he plays Benoit Blanc in 82 Knives Out sequels. 82, which I will see. Anyways, that's my number 4. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is a movie that I hesitated to watch the trailer for, but just to do this podcast, I was like, you know what? I might as well watch the trailer for it. It's A Quiet Place 2 or A Quiet Place Part 2. So it's still directed by John Krasinski.
No, I haven't watched that trailer yet.
Who I love. Okay.
So I don't ruin... Just because I ruined the Birds of Prey thing for you.
Exactly. So I'm not going to say anything.
So you're a better friend than
basically, I will say this trailer has more dialogue than the entire movie alone.
Of the first
Quiet Place. This trailer has more dialogue. And wow, honestly, I'm okay. Not going to say a single thing.
I liked the first film a lot. It wasn't one of my favorites though. So I guess I
loved it.
Oh, no, it's a great film. I will see the second one.
Definitely.
So
hopefully John Krasinski directs it the same way he directed the first one, or even better.
Yeah, it is interesting that John Krasinski would do A Quiet Place sequel immediately as his next directorial film. You don't often see that, I don't think, with filmmakers in their first films, immediately going into a sequel. Especially a sequel that has a lot of expectations.
Exactly.
Is expected to be a big hit for Paramount, who really need it.
Definitely. Unless you are Adam Sandler in a comedy movie. Can't wait for Grown Ups 3 Fart Camp.
I hope that does exist, and I probably won't watch it.
I'm going to pay money to see it.
All right. Speaking of Paramount, my third most anticipated film is a sequel to one of the greatest cinematic experiences anyone can have ever. It is Top Gun Maverick, directed by Joseph Kosinski. Everything about this film looks awesome, Tripp. Everything.
He's so passionate.
I will have no Top Gun slander, okay? You haven't even said anything, and I know it's not on your list, so that's why I've been kind of looking over to see if it's there. Everything about this film looks amazing. It's filmed in IMAX. They have crammed in 6 IMAX cameras into actual military jets, which the actors are also in. The actors are in these jets. They're not flying them because, duh. But, they showed this behind the scene where, the actors are, puking on, their trial runs because they're experiencing, 6Gs and 7Gs on these turns. And Tom Cruise is the one making them do it. So, Tom Cruise, you're a psychopath. But I applaud it, okay?
The Scientology's going to his head.
Look, it gives him power, clearly, because he's making amazing movies recently. Okay, so the actors are actually in the planes. It's filmed in IMAX. The planes aren't CG. That's just what? How are you doing this? And then Tom Cruise is even flying prop planes in the film because he's a pilot. Because why not? He's Tom Cruise. He can do pretty much anything. Tom Cruise, obviously, is back. But Val Kilmer's also back. He's not in the trailer, but he is going to be back in the film. And then Jennifer Connelly is a new member. Looks to be, I think, Tom Cruise's new love interest. And Miles Teller, who's one of my favorite young actors, is playing Goose's son.
Ooh, okay. Miles Teller can also be in that Paul Thomas
This film is going to be a masterpiece. It's going to be a masterpiece. And when that pulsating synth soundtrack comes on with the Top Gun theme, I'm going to explode in my chair and float on to oblivion.
I need to see another volleyball shirtless.
It's in the trailer.
Scene. Oh, it's in
the trailer. Yeah, there's gonna be one.
Come on.
Yeah,
I'm down.
There's gonna be another lubed up, super oily, hopefully jeans and a belt rolled up cuffed jeans with a belt volleyball scene with Tom Cruise wearing a blinged out Rolex while playing volleyball, even though that would destroy your wrists. But anyways, let's continue. Enough Top Gun talk. Just kidding. There's never enough. But what's your number 3, Tripp?
My number 3 is a movie that honestly I have extremely high hopes for this movie. It is Wonder Woman 1984. I loved the first Wonder Woman. I did not like the last half of Wonder Woman. With the last act of Wonder Woman, I felt like that it should have ended as soon as she found out, hey, was it Hades? Or who was she going after?
Ares.
Ares, yes. Ares isn't real. And then, of course, they have Professor Lupin become Ares. Anyway, I did not enjoy that part. I felt like you could have had a very down-to-earth Wonder Woman.
Zack Snyder was a producer, so he had to have his CG battle.
You had to have his dark CG battle.
Yeah.
But this Wonder Woman, when I first saw the trailer, I called Nate right away and I said, dude, you need to watch this trailer. It looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm very excited about DC making a sequel that hopefully doesn't stink. Because all of the standalone movies have at least been enjoyable, except for Man of Steel. Like, you can say Wonder Woman was enjoyable.
Man of Steel was enjoyable.
Aquaman, I didn't see Man of Steel.
No, Man of Steel was fine. It's the only Zack Snyder film I give a pass.
And what was the other? Shazam. Shazam was also really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Shazam. So if you can have the same passion and same talent behind the first DC movie and from Wonder Woman, hopefully this one will be as good or even better as the second one. Because I love the time period. I love how it's going to be taking place in 1984. I know you love the 80s. Yeah. You're really good at starting booming.
It looks good, man. I am excited for that film. All right, my number 2. My number 2... Do we have the same number 2? My number 2 is Tennant.
Yes.
By Christopher Nolan.
Tennant. Yes.
Oh, we have the same number 2, so we'll talk about it. Christopher Nolan is about the only filmmaker in Hollywood right now, maybe besides Quentin Tarantino, and Denis Villeneuve is rapidly approaching this status, but who has completely eventized his filmmaking. He comes out with original films. He comes out with risky films that cost a lot of money.
Yes.
But he has so many fans, and it creates such a public fervor for his films. It's almost like an MCU film is coming out, or a Star Wars film is coming out, or just some big IP blockbuster. Tenet isn't the IP of Christopher Nolan is the name Christopher Nolan. Yeah. He's probably one of the few directors in Hollywood that if I walk up to someone on the street and say, "Hey, do you like Christopher Nolan movies?" They'll probably say yes because they've seen Inception, they've seen The Dark Knight. You know, they've seen, even with his small... And then once they've seen those, a lot of people, you know, then you go back to his other films. But this film looks awesome. You have John David Washington.
Yeah.
Who is...
It's going to be...
It's going to be good. Excuse me. Robert Pattinson. Pattinson's on a hot streak. He's going to be Batman after this. Imagine going from Tenet to Batman.
Imagine going from Twilight.
Well, yeah, but like Lighthouse, Tenet, Batman. That's freaking awesome. And he's going to mess with time again. And so I hope this leans more towards Inception quality rather than Interstellar. We'll see. I'm excited. Gonna see it in IMAX. It's a must.
Definitely. Nate literally said everything that I was gonna say. Christopher Nolan's one of my favorite directors. I haven't seen all of his films, but I intend to someday. My favorite Christopher Nolan film is my second favorite movie of all time, The Dark Knight. But Tenet, you know, it was very, very cool. How
that preview before The Rise of Skywalker was awesome.
Yes, we saw like a 5-minute IMAX
short film almost from it. Yeah,
probably like the very opening of it.
Probably the opening.
And honestly, that was better than The Rise of Skywalker.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
But I love how the name Tenet is backwards and forward as well. So we definitely,
which is perfect for
Christopher
the
Nolan.
Film that it's going to be is what it looks like.
And one of my favorite films of all time is Memento. So maybe it'll be again. Playing with time.
Yeah, he loves doing that.
So we'll look forward to it. All right, Nate.
All right,
you're number 1.
I say let's go over a few honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions, yes.
I'll say just a couple. You might have noticed there are no superhero films on my list.
No superheroes.
That doesn't mean I hate these movies. They just don't get my juices flowing like they used to. But I am excited for Black Widow. Black Widow is a film that should have come out in 2012. or even earlier than that. But they waited, and which is dumb. But it looks great. Florence Pugh, Rachel Weisz, David Harbour, Scarlett Johansson. I'm really excited for what looks to be a more grounded, not necessarily gritty, but a more grounded MCU film that returns to the spy action thriller genre that was Winter Soldier, which is by far my favorite MCU film and what I think is inarguably the best one.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman looks great. I think that film is going to be really good. Patty Jenkins. I like the first Wonder Woman a lot more than you did, even. That film looks great. Look, again, Birds of Prey. Looks like a good film. I'm excited for that movie. The Gentleman, which we said we wouldn't mention, but The Gentleman looks very, very good. Very promising. And
I just really hope that Morbius...
I'm not excited for Morbius. I'm not excited for Morbius.
I just hope that
another film that I'm not excited for is The Eternals. I don't care.
I really hope that it ties into the Sony verse of Spider-Man somehow with a good Sinister Six.
And then so that's about it for what I'm like most anticipated for.
I know some of my anticipated movies. I know one. I think I know exactly what his number one is, so I'm not going to say it because it's not my number one.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you can say it. You don't know what mine is, so just say what you're going to say.
I'm not excited for Dune because I don't know anything about Dune, but I love Denis Villeneuve. So that's the only reason why I'm excited for it.
You just said you're not excited for it.
Well, okay, listen. I'm excited for the story, but I'm most excited just because it's directed by Denis Villeneuve. Because I'll watch anything he directs. He's in my top 5 favorite directors of all time. Another movie that I am also excited for is Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Afterlife.
That's on mine too. Yeah,
I absolutely love that, and the trailer was very fun and entertaining. Hopefully, it'll just be fun.
Doolittle, right?
That we're not going to talk about that. Another movie that also hopefully will be just fun and entertaining. I think it's a Disney film. It's Free Guy, which I honestly don't like the name of, but it has Ryan Reynolds. I'm going to probably enjoy it.
I mean, he plays Ryan Reynolds in every movie, so...
He does play Ryan Reynolds.
And I find Ryan Reynolds totally funny. He's funny.
He is funny. He's a funny movie guy. He's a funny guy.
He's a funny movie guy.
He's a funny movie
He's a fun, free guy.
He's a...
All right.
Don't make me shoot you dead in the pool.
Should I just walk out right now? Anyways, want to do your number one?
I'll do my number one first.
Sure.
My number one is Black Widow. Now, I love Scarlett Johansson.
As do I.
And honestly, if there's one movie that I could look forward and be like, hey, I want to see this movie, it's going to be Black Widow. Because Black Widow is one of my favorite Avengers. Scarlett Johansson and I share the same birthday. And it has Florence Pugh. And Rachel Weisz. So, those are like top 3 amazing actresses in one super big, giant budget superhero movie.
Yeah.
And we get to know the backstory of Black Widow after she already, ate it in Endgame. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm very excited. Hopefully, it'll be just as fun as any of those standalone movies are.
I'm more excited for this than I was for any other Marvel film since Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Y'all know me. I was not super big on the last couple Avengers films, including Endgame. I think it's a perfectly good movie.
Definitely.
I'm just the MCU is vanilla for me, man. It's getting vanilla. Black Widow looks like it could be the first one to truly stand out in a long time, which I think is good for the MCU. But every film has looked the exact same since The Winter Soldier, which kind of introduced a new energetic style, which is the Russo brothers, and that carried over into Civil War. But then after that, every film had like the same film grain, the same look of the effects, the same filters.
Even Thor Ragnarok. With
even
Taika
Thor Ragnarok,
Waititi.
even though it was full of color and I think really good in terms of writing and story, the look of it still was really just bland.
I don't know. They're super generic, and hopefully this movie...
Black Panther, which has some of the coolest locations in the entire MCU and has a great story, great performances.
Best production.
Movie that I loved. Again, it's like the filters they put on it looks bad. And so the trailer for Black Widow looks promising. It looks back to like Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. So I'm hopeful for it. But
I'm hopeful
it needs to be really good if the MCU's going to win me back.
If Florence Pugh can, hopefully she'll
leg choke you.
Yes.
You cool with that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
If Florence Pugh and Rachel Weisz can be in an MCU movie, you know that they're already high up there. Yeah. Anyway, so Black Widow, my number one. Nate, what is
my number one? Is a film you kind of pooped on a little bit, Tripp.
Kind of pooped on a little bit.
Dune.
Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve.
I knew
the stuff coming out about this film has got me so excited. It's being compared to Lord of the Rings in terms of technical and storytelling achievement. They just had the first screening of it, like test screening and everything. And people are coming out saying that it's going to really blow people away. And what also has me excited is when it's coming out. It's the Christmas weekend type film this year. There is no Avatar. There's no Star Wars. There is no MCU. This is the biggest budgeted film coming out at Christmas. And so, what?
I think that I need to do some editing over.
You need to do some editing?
Do some editing of what I said anymore. So yes, my most anticipated movie is Dune, directed by Denis Villeneuve. I love it. I've seen it twice already.
You've seen it twice?
I can't wait for it.
You interrupted my vamping about this film, okay?
You sold me. From what Nate just said, he's already sold me.
I didn't get to the cast yet, Tripp.
You haven't gone to the...
I didn't get to the cast.
See, I don't look anything up because I don't want to know.
You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm ready. Hit me.
Timothée Chalamet, main character.
Oh my God.
Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin, Stellan Skarsgård, Dave Bautista, Zendaya, Jason Momoa, and Javier Bardem. This is a sci-fi fantasy epic of one of the best-selling and highly celebrated science fiction novels of all time. It has been terribly adapted in the past, from what I've heard. I haven't seen the David Lynch film. I don't know. But it's been considered an unadaptable series because of the scope and the effects that would need to be required to do it. And so the fact that Denis Villeneuve, one, has one of the best films ever, in my opinion, with Arrival, and then even increased the scope with Blade Runner 2049, I think he's probably the only director that could handle this sort of scope. And so I think we're going to get another huge fantasy sci-fi hit with Dune. I think this is going to be a huge movie. If this film bombs like Blade Runner bombed, I will be shocked. I will be honestly shocked. I think this film is going to be amazing. And I think this film is going to be a huge success. And there are plenty of books, sequels. So maybe we get a Lord of the Rings style series with this. Even if we don't, I don't care. I'm going to see this movie and love this movie. I bought the book. I'm going to read it before the film comes out. Luckily, I have until Christmas, so I have a decent amount of time. But, yeah, I'm a little insulted this wasn't on your list, Tripp. Although you just edited it in, and it's your number one now.
Yes, I totally edited it. I would like to apologize for what I've said about it. The thing is...
My man said he's not excited.
This is my well-constructed excuse. I don't like to look up anything. I don't like to look up... who's the cast in Dune. I don't like to look up what story is about. All I know is directed by Denis Villeneuve, and he's one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. So obviously I'm excited about it. It's an honorable mention because I didn't know what the story was.
I didn't tell you the story. I won't do that.
Well, I don't know the story. So, but now I know that the cast is in there and it has the same cinematographer from the movie Lion. So anyway... There we go.
Yeah.
That is our top 20 movies top 10 most anticipated movies of 2020.
Yeah.
Do you have any lists? I mean,
any final thoughts or whatever?
Any final thoughts? Well, so far The best movie of 2020 so far is Bad Boys for Life. Yes. Yeah. It is absolutely phenomenal.
Also the only film I've seen. So
the only film? Wow, step up your game.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I didn't feel like seeing Doolittle. The modern masterpiece starring the greatest actor of all time. Or The Grudge.
I've seen The Grudge, which was the best movie of the year. But then now it is also the worst movie of the year.
There you go. Impressive achievement.
I'm doing rapid fire reviews. The Grudge was really, really underwhelming and not scary and very, very stupid. Underwater was very, very boring. Kind of cool shots. Kristen Stewart was all right. 5 out of 10. Like a Boss was incredibly unfunny. You
saw that?
I did see Like a Boss, yes. Like a Boss was incredibly unfunny. Tiffany Haddish and Rose Byrne could have been. Please
give her a good script.
Could have been in a better movie. Tiffany Haddish needs to stop making sex jokes. She needs to be in actual roles.
Yeah.
And Bad Boys for Life, I gave a 6 out of 10. Absolutely loved it. Loved the chemistry. I need to see the other Bad Boy movies. Boom. Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Well, my final thoughts are actually going to be about anticipated 2020 films.
Okay.
I think this year is a big marker in where cinema, the film going experience, will be for the next couple years. This is going to be a big year because there isn't a Star Wars film, there isn't an Avengers film. There are some comic book films, obviously, that will likely be very big hits. However, like we said, Christmas has Dune as its signature release. Now that's a huge risk by the studios. There's nothing really in competition with it. And so we will really see if the cinema experience is truly going down, because it isn't a year like last year when you had The Lion King, probably the most anticipated live action remake from Disney, Avengers Endgame, the most anticipated film maybe of all time outside of The Force Awakens.
Cats.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, an underwhelming finale, but still a $1 billion film. Aladdin, $1 billion film. Spider-Man, $1 billion film.
Toy Story,
$1 billion film. Joker, $1 billion film. Now that was a surprise, but still a comic book film on a huge character, hugely anticipated, big star, made $1 billion. Yep. There aren't a ton of movies like that this year that are like, lock, $1 billion. I think the locks for $1 billion are Mulan. A lock is Wonder Woman,
Black Widow,
and Black Widow. Those are the only 3 locks, I think, of the whole year for being $1 billion. Eternals has to be really good for it to get $1 billion.
And then there's New Mutants, which I was excited for.
That movie will bomb.
And then that's a bomb. It's a major bomb.
You can look at it. It's a bomb.
It's a major bomb.
Yeah. So we'll see. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Glad to do this with you guys.
Definitely. Let us know down in the comments or on Instagram what you would want us to talk about on the next podcast. We have some ideas, but we definitely want to hear from you when the Oscars. When the Oscars happen, we're definitely going to be talking about the Oscars.
For sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
So yeah, thank you so much for watching A Trip to the Movies. I am your host, Tripp Muncie, and this is my co-host,
Nathan Spencer.
And we appreciate you, and have a great day.
See y'all.